Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings just broke Labor Day box office records. It's so good, in fact, it may save the future of the cinema-going experience. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm curious, did you see this movie this weekend? I want you to tell me down in the comments below. Before we even begin, hit that subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit the bell for all alerts. Smash that like button and leave a comment. Did you watch the film? Did you like the film? I want to hear your thoughts. If you didn't watch the film, I hope you'll hear this out because I think you should. Now, I've reviewed this film, and I didn't love the film. I have criticized this film a bit. I have problems with it. But all those problems aside, this movie did well this weekend, and I'm immensely happy. Why? Because I do think this film will help other studios see that it's safe to release movie theaters in theaters again. Now, I know some of you are going to say, but Andy, I can't. I don't feel safe. That's fine. You can wait till it's on streaming. There's no reason why we can't begin the theatrical windowing again. It's massively important because if we don't start, it's just never going to fall back in line. And this weekend's release of Shang-Chi finally is proving that with a record-breaking $90 million this weekend. Now, there's some asterisks to that. I want to break down, before I get into all the math, though, it's important to point out why this number was so important. Now, this was a little lower than Black Widow, but Black Widow had Scarlett Johansson in it. It was an established hero. She's been in multiple Marvel movies already. Shang-Chi is an origin story and a character that's not as well known. This is a good opening, especially since it didn't have the Disney Plus revenue to confuse matters. A $90 million domestic opening is big, and it also did very well internationally as well. But the real news here isn't just that this movie is doing well. The news is other studios, Sony, is finally doubling down. They have now moved their movie up. This is the first time a big studio said, you know what, let's move the movie earlier. We're seeing now with this box office return of Shang-Chi, we can do well in the theaters. And that's imperative right now to get the studios and the theater industry back in the grind. Is it going to be as much as it was before? No. But is this going to stop you from seeing a movie? Heck no. I'm so frustrated because I know there's a lot of people out there. No, release the movie streaming. It's not safe. Guys, if it's not safe for you, don't go. You can stay home and wait. Just like a lot of us had to wait internationally for some of these movies. Black Widow, I believe, also opened internationally before here in the States, America. I had to wait. Sometimes you have to wait for a movie. It's the reality. Just be careful online. Don't watch reviews, et cetera, et cetera. You can watch the movie at your leisure when you're able to, when it's available on a platform you're comfortable with. But you got to remember, shutting down the theater experience and constantly jettisoning movies that were supposed to open, like I'm talking Top Gun Maverick, which just got pushed again to next year. And Jackass 4. Paramount is so terrified of this box office, they won't release their movies. And they just came out of CinemaCon telling the theater industry, we support you. We're all here, yada, yada, yada. Studios, stop being afraid. Put your movies in the theater. You may take a little bit of a hit, but that's the reality. It's an investment moving forward to prove that the box office can work again. And so Venom has now moved up to the first week in October. This is a packed month. October is going to be very telling because October has a lot of stuff opening this weekend. They originally Sony had Hotel Transylvania 4 was supposed to open, but they've now pushed that to Amazon Prime. And so this weekend, and then MGM is releasing Addams Family Values also on October 1st. So this will go against each other. Venom 2 is going to play out against Addams Family 2, which is definitely not going to help Addams Family 2, but you got two big weekends that time. Also, The Many Saints of Newark, HBO Max is putting it out there. However, I don't think that's going to do very well. Venom will clearly now be the box office champion that weekend, and so it's pushing earlier. But it's not done because we also got No Time to Die opening October 8th, the weekend after, and then Halloween Kills October 15th. I'm shocked neither of those movies tried to move up sooner, even September. Move to the end of September so you can own end of September through October. And then we have Dune opening October 22nd. Edgar Wright's opening his film on October 29th. A lot of films opening in October, so we will have lots of opportunities to go support the movies. And it's important because I think a lot of these movies would have moved had they not seen Shang-Chi do well. So that's why this report is really important. We got to support this industry. And I know a lot of you maybe don't want to go. Okay, don't make us all suffer. Let us all have the choice. You know what I mean? You can still have the streaming opportunity. I think in 45 days, Shang-Chi will probably show up on Disney Plus. And if they were smart, they would do the premiere access in 45 days. At that point, if you'd like to buy it on streaming, here's your opportunity. Buy it on streaming or on Blu-ray. All the physical media is now available. Buy it digitally first, and then 75 days later, boom, it's on our streaming platforms exclusively. There's still value to that formula. I hope they will wise up and start doing that. That's the report here. So, all right, but let's break down the numbers. Now let's get into the math. Hopefully some of you are still sticking around on the math portion of the show. But let's break down what this means. Now, it's important also to remember Labor Day weekend traditionally doesn't do well for movies because you're coming off a summer where every weekend's been huge in normal times. So in today's day and age, this is the first opportunity we've had, aside from Free Guy, which also did pretty well. Black Widow was a big one as well. We had Fast 9, did pretty well. We've had a handful across the summer, but this was the first real big Marvel movie where you couldn't see it any other way. And so, of course, it did well over Labor Day weekend because a lot of people were very curious to see, was this film going to be good? What's the end credit scenes? What's happening in the MCU? The MCU still has value. Now, 90 million, this is for the first 4 days, mind you. A new high watermark for the holiday weekend. Some are predicting it's going to get 93, 95, 90, sort of the safe estimate, including Mondays. Labor Day traditionally a slow weekend, but the film's 3-day total was 75 million, 0.5. 4,300 theaters. The last weekend, Halloween, had a 30 point, and that was back in the day before the pandemic. So this is pretty big. Wait, 2007. This is wrong. The first Halloween was 2000. No, was it? Yeah, no, 2017. I thought. Yeah, they have a typo there. And that was 30. That was before everything went down. So there you go. That was a Labor Day weekend. So they can. Halloween was. I need to verify this report. Sometimes Variety gets things wrong. All that said, Black Widow was 80 million. So the 3-day total for a non-Avengers person yet that we don't really know, starring no real massive celebrities, it was only 4. Look at that, 75.5 compared to 80. That's good, guys. And it only proves that if Black Widow had opened only in theaters, it would have easily made 100. Easily made 100 because people wouldn't have been able to go see it on Disney+. Now, the other reason why this window is important for more money for Disney to be able to make more movies, etc., the movies we like, people can't see it again right away. They have to go buy a ticket again if they want to see it again. If you give people the movie for $30 on Disney+, I pay once, and then all my whole family can rewatch it as often as we want. There's no replay value. And Marvel has the Marvel stands that will go pay 3 times if they need to go watch it in theaters. And then they will go pay on Premium Plus, and then they'll buy it on Blu-ray to put it behind them in a collection that they won't even watch because they have it available in streaming. That's why you do it. You make money because the fans are willing to buy it multiple times. But if you allow it to only be streaming right out the gate, of course people are going to say, well, I want it because I can pause it, I can go back, I can watch, rewind, etc. It's just a better value for families and fans to be able to watch it right away, pause it, take screen captures at home, whatever they got to do. It doesn't make sense why Disney would want to put something on Disney Plus right away. I understand there's an exclusivity. Oh, wow. But this exclusivity will still be there in a few weeks, or a few months, rather. Get the money theatrically, own it, take the money, then offer a pay opportunity where you can watch it at home for pay by buying the Blu-ray or buying it on Disney Plus, and then come Thanksgiving, voila, it's free on Disney Plus with your payment. It becomes part of the library. I don't understand why they don't see this as value. Am I crazy? Like, that's how it works. And I know a lot of people are going to be frustrated because they have to wait, but welcome to how movies work and have always worked. This idea that we should get it all instantly is stupid. Piracy, there's so many reasons why you don't want to do that right away. And I hope the studios take this and realize there's potential here. Now, previously, Fast and the Furious was 70, Quiet Place 2 was 48 million. So this is now the number 2 right behind Black Widow. And this only glorifies Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit, as I implied in my title there. She's got to get paid. They totally screwed her on this. There's no reason why she expected this, and there was no reason they had to make this be a Disney Plus experiment. Pay her the bonus, like they've done everybody else. Warner Brothers has done it too, or you're screwing her. She's a massive star in your talent. I'm shocked more Disney Avenger stars haven't come forward to say pay her, support her. Scarlett Johansson was an integral part of this team. Disney, I hope you do the right thing. A million things they could have done. They would have looked amazingly in the fans. And what's Disney not going to hire Iron Man again? I mean, there are reasons why, but because he's dead. But they're going to want him back at some point, even no matter how low his box office is or who he supported. Globally, Shang-Chi made 146 million. So look, these are good numbers for a new character starring, a bunch of people that aren't, huge box office draws yet. And so comparing the day and dates when you actually look at it. So here's the weekends. I'm sorry, this is the days. 29 million. Black Widow on its daily dates made huge 39 million on its opening night, as expected. Day 2, it made 23.3. Day 2, Shang-Chi made 23.2. So pretty much the same on day 2. So not as big of a decline. Day 3, 18.6. Not a steep decline compared to Black Widow's, which made 17.5. So Shang-Chi's already ticking upwards on making more money on day 3, and they're predicting Shang-Chi to make about 10 to 15 million on its day 4, which is the estimates for Labor Day, today, Monday. On Monday, Black Widow made 7.1. Now, granted, wasn't a holiday, hard to compare it completely, but the point being here, Shang-Chi's on an uptick. Now, the real telling news will be on weeks 2, weeks 3, because Black Widow, that's where it failed. Because people just go buy it on Disney Plus. Maybe they bought a theater at Disney, on the theaters, and then they bought it on Disney Plus and watched it 10 more times. Because you can see that 80 million opening weekend, 25 million on its second weekend, which is that's terrible. And then it dropped again to 11 million on week 3, and then it was pretty much done. Done deal. 6, 3, 1, 1, less than a million. Look at this. This is awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 week release. 9 weeks. Typically, these Marvel movies would be still making 10, 15, 20 million on its low ends. This is embarrassing. This is not a good thing. Now, the Disney Plus numbers, we'll see. If they were huge, they would just make every movie that way. But they weren't. They clearly weren't as big as they could be. Again, all of this is an experiment. It's true. This is an experiment they're going through. And I hope the experiment has proven that it is smart to release the movies in theaters. That's the story here. Good news for Shang-Chi fans. Whether you like the film or not, doesn't matter. If you haven't seen the film and you're on the fence, go support it. If you want the movie theater experience to still be out there, go support this movie. It's imperative we support the theater-going experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet.